So I did an episode on the mentality behind 3 different prominent flavor of the month groups, and the ones that came after me were the ones with the least energy, like the sickly pale vegans. That's a joke. And on alt platforms where I figured a lot of guys that like to eat meat and build their own cabin in the woods dwelled. It's a bit of a surprise, but hey, each to their own. Thanks for watching. The actual video was more of a commentary on the duality some people hold, where they take a position in life of being different for whatever reason that may be, and being really proud of it, and then demanding the rest of the world bends to what they need, otherwise they get really angry. So that was the premise of the video. And if you didn't get it, that's okay. Doesn't matter, just a thought, moving on. Gather round, children. We're about to talk about body counts, and not the fun kind where you play multiplayer against your friend and totally ruin their life. This one is about ruining your own life by getting a dating app. Have you ever had one? I have. I didn't want to for the longest time. I used to say to my friend, look, I want to meet someone in a post office, and he asks to borrow my pen. And she was like, well, you better hurry up. They're closing all the post offices down. Everything's email now. Get with the times. And I didn't want to because I wasn't raised that way. And I was raised that you meet someone, you like the look of them, you get on well, you court each other and decide whether to take it further and become into a partnership and live your lives together. Not this whole thing we have now, which is essentially you see someone's picture and you swipe right and they get a notification that someone finds them physically attractive in that one photo that hides all the fat or hides or hides their big nose well or whatever, and you meet this person and you chat, you send a few messages back and forth, you meet up. Netflix chill, for those that don't know, Netflix chill is roughly saying, hey, come over, we'll use it as an excuse to watch a movie, and then we'll have sex later, and if I can stand you in the morning, we'll have a different date and a few more times after that, and maybe you'd become my significant other. If not, you're on a Rolodex until one of us finds someone better. And these people roll that dice for years on end, waste everybody's time, including their own, never settle with anyone because they're after something that is unattainable. These apps give you the lobster tank and you pick out the lobster that you want and you get that lobster on the plate, and then in the background you see them put in a fresh new lobster that looks a little bit better, and now you want that one. You can go after that one, and your poor little lobster on the plate is all like, yeah, but I thought you were gonna eat me. Lols, I was that lobster once. I had just freshly come out of 2 back-to-back relationships that were 14 years combined in length, and I was new to the dating game, and I didn't understand the game. I mean, I understood that people were allowed to date other people, why they decide which person was more compatible for them. That's perfectly fine. But what I didn't know is they're allowed to take it as far possible as they can and get you to feel like you are a girlfriend or someone that they actually are genuinely interested in, but they're not really. They're just trying their luck to see what you will give up. And I don't mean that just sexually, I mean as in acting like a significant other, calling them, buying them little gifts or something, making it seem like it's a relationship, but it's not. One of the things that gets to me sometimes is in the manosphere, in the realms that I frequent, and even with my friends, they all have these same, and I've got it too, even though I am female, is we've all got a perception that women that reach a certain age that haven't settled down or that don't have children are one of those ball breakers that came out and was like, I don't need no man, I don't need this, I don't need that, and because there's a lot of them out there. But there are some of us that just chose the wrong people. We wasted a lot of time because we didn't know better and we didn't know how to get out of things. And then you get spat out at the end and you have nothing to show for that work that you've put in, the time that you've done, only to come out here and get slapped in the face by all these types saying, oh, it's because you didn't want to settle down when you were younger. You played the field. You did this, you did that. You didn't want the nice boy next door. You didn't want the nice guy. You wanted the bad boy. Now look where you've ended up, that kind of stuff. But that simply isn't true for some of us. But it's given me the perception that, shit, man, I should have done the same thing. I should have just gone out there, become one of these fast women. That's how the world is. And so when people say so-and-so has a high body count, even though I think it's kind of gross, I'm also like, well, what was she gonna do? What was he gonna do? That is all that's presented to these people in dating apps and in life I mean, it does trickle down into just regular life. When you meet someone, there is an unspoken agreement that we're just going to play around a bit and we'll see what happens. I don't like that, and I wish it was different. But from what I'm seeing around me, it's not. So obviously you don't go up to someone and say, hey, my name is blah, blah, blah. I think you're attractive. Do you want to hang out sometime? By the way, what's your body count? I think that'll cancel out anybody's further interest. But also, sometimes people don't care because they realize it's like that now. I've seen people admit to, say, 30 different partners in the past couple of years, and that's from a female. Now, I was at this hen's night, or for those that don't know, bachelorette kind of night. I had to fucking lie about mine just to keep up, just to try and be part of it, just to try and be in the conversation that I had no business being in. I just wanted to see how the other half live. Apparently, they live with a lot of STDs. Moving on. So, I'm thinking, sex is just a thing. It's a handshake nowadays. It doesn't really matter, and you're kind of the odd one out if you think it's anything more. And sometimes people think it's more because of the way they're brought up. Sometimes it's an actual learning experience that you've done where you've researched the cells and the fluids and everything that are exchanged, and you've come to the conclusion that it's kind of a spiritual thing too, and you shouldn't be spreading around your essence or whatever. That is not. Essence was not a euphemism for semen. I'm just saying, some people I know that are that way inclined is sort of saying, well, I don't want to engage in this kind of activity on this level with someone that I don't care about, that I don't share a similar point of view on the world. Some people just don't want to stick their dick in crazy. And boys, please listen to me, please. I've seen many a man fall down because someone somewhere decided to come into their life and completely destroy it. Never stick your dick in crazy. It's not worth it. You know, I've had guys say, oh, crazy in the head, crazy in the bed. Yes, that may be true, but you don't want crazy spilling over into the rest of your life. And some of them think, oh, big body count, who cares? It's because she's good at what she does. Again, not worth it. What does a body count mean to you? To me, if a man walks up to me and I know that he has been with multitudes of women, as gross as it is, it actually makes more sense to me rather than hearing a woman do the same thing. And that's because biologically we are wired differently, and in our brains we are wired differently, that men do go out and they do conquer things, and that's one of their things psychologically and through genetics is to spread their genetics around. So I get that. I mean, look, if you're pushing like, I don't know, you're pushing like 50 to 100 to 200, 300, you know, like old Gene Simmons video I did where he was bragging about sleeping with so many women. That's disgusting. That shows me that you have a problem upstairs and you're not prepared to go to the next chapter of your life and become an actual adult and have some responsibility. A few more bodies on the body count than women for men is generally okay in my mind, but not a lot. And for women, if you have a lot in the body count realm, it tells me that you aren't okay. That something happened to you when you were younger and you're chasing something that you can't find, and you can't find in that realm of dating or serial dating or serially sleeping with people. Something is missing that you need to figure out. And for all the confidence and I don't need no man and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, for everything that you have deep down right in there underneath the padded bra, you're not happy. And then that brings me to my conclusion of generally speaking, if you have a high body count, I can understand why you would garner disrespect from some, but I'm not everyone, and some people, as I've mentioned, don't care. So anyone watching, what do you think? Let me know, just for my own curiosity. Don't want to be one of those people that's asking you to sub and like, but if you feel like commenting or liking, that would help me out. It'll give me the power to do more of these episodes.